Hi guys, so today I'm doing the mental health tag. It's a tag that I've done before, and it's actually one that I've seen around YouTube like a lot. But as I said, I've done it before, and I did it on my own old channel, but that channel's now been deleted. So I thought I'd do it again to kind of kickstart this channel. So this channel is probably going to be a lot more vloggy. I don't think I'll try to do any kind of awareness things or, you know, educational stuff. It will be mostly vlogging. Excuse me. It will have like a lot of like life with my alters and stuff, but I guess I'm not setting out for it to intentionally be educational. But yeah, we'll kind of see where we go with that anyway. So if we get started with the mental tag. So the first question is, what is your mental illness? I am currently diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, dissociative identity disorder, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, and bulimia nervosa. When were you diagnosed? I have been diagnosed, the most recent diagnosis I got was about 18 months ago, and before that I guess my diagnoses were over the course of about 2 years. So most recently I was diagnosed 18 months ago. Who knows about it? My borderline personality disorder and my DID, my family know about. My partner knows everything that I'm diagnosed with. Online, I guess most people are aware of my diagnoses as well. I tend not to talk too much about my mental illnesses, but yeah, most people know, I guess. What treatment have you had for it? I have had cognitive analytical therapy, cognitive behavioural therapy, and art psychotherapy so far. I also did a little bit of EMDR, but that's for a whole new video, I guess. What's the hardest part about living with mental illness? I guess it's different for each disorder. That they all have different symptoms which kind of make different things hard. Personally, I find the stigma, like just in general, the stigma of having a mental illness quite difficult. Especially with DID, people assume that if you are multiple, then your alters must be evil. I find that quite difficult. And also it can be quite, like, I guess there's a lot of shame behind it still. There's a lot of like blame on the person who suffers. And so yeah, that, I guess I find that quite difficult as well. Something that surprised you about your illness or recovery? I guess I'm constantly being surprised by how strong I am, how much, like, every time I feel like I know everything, I learn something else, and I have a full breakdown, and then I still manage to kind of rebuild myself, and that's something I'm actually really proud of, and it constantly surprises me. I guess something that I find really interesting as well is how different people can be with the same disorder. So for example, with DID, there could be one person who only has 2 alters, has full communication, you know, everything's kind of almost perfect, and then there's one person who has 200 alters, has no communication, and it amazes me how different like DID is. It's definitely not just like a cookie cutter disorder, and I'm constantly being amazed by that. What is one false assumption about your particular disorder you want to correct? For BPD, there are so many stigmas out there that I think that would take a whole new rant. I guess the main thing is that we are people too, and sometimes we do act irrational and we do things that are stupid, but we are people too, and we have feelings, and a lot of the time the reason we act a certain way because we've had a certain type of life, and so it's not always just to be horrible. Like, sometimes we can be quite mean, but it's not intentional. I know that for me personally anyway. For DID, there are again so many, but I think the main ones that I'd want to address is that alters can be good. You can know who your alters are. It's not like a law that you have to lose time, or, you know, So that's my main one with DID. And for bulimia, I guess eating disorders in general is that you can be overweight with an eating disorder. You don't have to be stick thin to suffer from an eating disorder, but also that anybody at any age can die from an eating disorder. It's not like, it can be serious at any size, at any age, at, you know, any gender. So yeah, I guess those are the main ones anyway. And what is one false assumption about mental illness that you want to correct? The main thing for me is that people seem to think that if you are mentally ill, then you are dangerous or you're stupid. I'm not stupid, I'm very intelligent, I have a very high IQ, I could be a Mensa if I wanted to. I just happen to have something slightly wrong with my brain. I don't need you to go, oh, are you sure, dear, and patronise me and talk down to me. I'm fully capable of understanding anything you say in quite a few languages, and I find that extremely irritating. People with mental illnesses are not stupid. But also, Mind did some research, and it was, I think it was Mind, it might not be, but some research was done anyway, and it was found that actually people with mental illnesses are more likely to be victims of crime than we are to commit crime, and people seem to have this automatic impression that if something bad happens, that person must have a mental illness, which isn't actually correct. And most people with mental illnesses are completely harmless, I guess the word is, or, you know, they're not dangerous. And I could rant about this for ages anyway, but that's the main thing, is that we're not dangerous and we're not stupid. It's no different to, you know, having a physical disability. It's just that our disability is invisible for most of us. So I guess that's my very brief mental illness tag. I've got a few other tags that I'm going to do as well, and I've got a project that I'm working on for the channel. I'm not quite sure how long it's going to take, so I'll probably pop in a few other videos here and there, but yeah, stay tuned. I'm really excited and I can't wait to kind of share with you guys what I've got to do. So I hope you're all well, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you soon. Bye!